Hey everybody, Victor Mad Duck Shear here. Here's another story for you. I can't promise you this story's true, but it's a good story, so I'll tell it to you the way it was told to me. Now, during Desert Storm, I was in a Special Forces unit. I didn't do anything, but I had friends that did, and that's the origin of this story. So, shortly after this, it went from Desert Shield to Desert Storm. They just came up with a plan where they were going to hit every single one of Saddam Hussein's palaces. Well, he had like 100 of them, so they put them in levels of, 1, 2, and 3. 1 being he may be there, 3 like he just owns it and he won't be there. So my friend gets assigned to a 3. So one night they fly out in a couple of Black Hawks and they land in the desert. And they walk, and then as the sun comes up, they stop. And his commander, or the guy in charge, says it's right in front of us. He couldn't see anything. And when the sun popped up over the desert, they could see it flickering off a glass. And sure enough, there was like a little palace built into this red rock. He said everything was made out of red rock and done with silver and copper. Very little gold, but a lot of copper and silver. So sure enough, there's a palace built right into this rock ledge and stuff. So their plan is to go and just blow it up a little, So 2 of them go down to the door, Kevin and Slater, and they go down and they're going to put the charge on the door. And all of a sudden they hear this little electric motor come on, and this big brass plate opens up, and this dog sticks its head out. And the dog's like a foot away from these guys. And he said the dog was an orange like he'd never seen before, like a Harley Davidson motorcycle orange. Just a bright orange, and had 2 black eyes and a black nose, of course. But he said it almost looked like it was smiling at him. And it looked at Kevin, and then it looked at my other friend, and then it ducked inside. So the gate starts to go down, and one of them stops the gate. Yeah, this is a good-sized dog and good-sized gate, so they scoot on through. They get on the radio. They go blah, blah, blah. Kevin, the guy in charge, says, just hold the door. Open the door. I'm going to come down. So now they come down. They notice there's everything's done in white marble on the inside. Red rock on the outside, white marble on the inside. He said there's a hallway. There's a room on the right. And then it went down a little and it opened up to the right. It kind of sank down and there was an area to chill. And then there was all glass. And that looked out over the desert. And then above that, there was like a little kitchen area and then a hallway to the left that goes down. So you got 2 guys in there, Kevin and Snow. Well, 2 guys in there. Kevin comes down. All of a sudden, they hear coming down the hallway, groogly, groogly, groogly. And this man comes, and the guy looks. They told me he looked just like Saddam Hussein, but he had a white robe on, and he's carrying a thing of dog food. They didn't know it was dog food at the time, but he's carrying like a round dish. So my friend shoots him twice in the stomach. Guy falls to his knees, makes this weird noise, falls over, but doesn't smell like the dog food. And so they overstep him. 2 guys go down the hallway, and my friend is just sitting there looking at this guy when all of a sudden he hears groogly, groogly, the same groogly thing. But he looks at the guy. The guy's dead. He realizes it's coming from the room that nobody checked. So he goes back in the room. He walks in the room, and he said the room just went down a little hallway, and then it opened up in a circular area. And there was a elevated, all again done in white marble, an elevated area, like an altar. And on that, there was a big golden clamshell with a purple pillow on it. And the dog was sitting on that. This was like the dog's room, and this was the dog's altar. And as he looks to his right, my friend sees there's a big widescreen television. Now, this is back in the 90s when you couldn't get a flat screen. So somebody had already measured it and made it so it fit. It looked like a flat screen, but somebody had actually made the room for it to sit back there, because this is back in the day when I had a 2-foot rear end on it. And there's a camera above that pointed down at the dog. And he looks at the picture on the monitor, and it's fucking Saddam Hussein. He's like in his breakfast shit. And he's talking to the dog, and the dog's looking at them. And this Groogly must be the dog's name. So, and my friend felt kind of bad about this. So my friend just pulls the trigger on this dog. And he said his rounds just chewed this dog to pieces. And the bigger chunks, as they went up, they hit the top of the clam shell and came down. And then he shot them again because he had a 30-round magazine. And he just chewed this dog to bits. And his friends come running in. And he looks up at the screen, and he's seen Saddam Hussein. Now, Saddam Hussein can't see him. He's just seen that his dog has been chewed up, disintegrated almost, except for not. The remnants are there. And he said the look on his face made him feel bad. Even though this was a dictator, even though this guy was responsible for horrible deaths, he could tell he had broken that man's spirit by killing his dog right in front of him. Years and years later, he would say when Saddam Hussein was hung, there's a video of him being hung, he did not look half as upset when he was hung as when my friend machined his dog. So one of them shot the screen, and they got out of there, and they came home, and later, that's the story if you want to believe it, and how one of my friends machine gunned Saddam Hussein's dog. Thanks for sticking around. Goodbye.